Hey guys, this is Brandon Shane, known online as shanetrain22, and today I'm going to be making my first video for card runners. This is actually the first training video that I've ever made, so I'm sure it's not going to be perfect or even close to perfect, but if you guys can give me some feedback and let me know how I can improve on future videos, I would greatly appreciate it. Just to give you a little bit of background on me and my poker career up to this point, I've been an MTT Pro for the last 4 or 5 years, playing mostly online, but I've played a pretty good amount of volume live as well, mostly WSOP events, WPTs, etc. And that's actually what I'm going to focus on in this video. I traveled quite a bit over the last few months, playing mostly WPTs. I went to Atlantic City to play the Borgata Winter Poker Open Main. And then, what was it, maybe a month and a half or 2 months later, went out to California to go to the different stops for the WPTs in LA, in Sacramento, and San Jose. And then I ended up flying back home after that and drove down south a couple hours to, I live in Columbus, but I drove to Cincinnati to play a 1500 re-entry event. It was called the Queen City Classic, which ended up being a really, really great event. It paid, I think, 150K for first, which is pretty good considering Ohio hasn't even had casinos for that long. We've only had it for a couple of years now, so I was pretty impressed with that. But anyway, I took some notes on some specific hands that I played through all of these tournaments, and I'm going to actually start with 3 hands from the Borgata event. And I think that's probably going to take up enough time for the first video, and then after that, I'll pick up some hands from other events. I went deep in a few, and so I'll be able to get some hands that are, pretty deep into the tournament. I think the Borgata is actually the one that I went least deep in, I guess. I made day 2 of it, but didn't last very long. But again, the other tournaments, I made a couple of day 3s and final tabled one of them, etc. So to start off, though, like I said, I'm gonna start with this Borgata event, and just to explain a little bit, it was a 3,500 re-entry event. Really good tournament. The structure was really good. I mean, it's a WPT, so it's got sort of that standard WPT structure for the most part. Although it's actually even better than most of the other WPTs as far as I know. I think maybe 1 or 2 other stops is really similar to this, and one of the main differences, as you can see from this first hand that I have set up here, is the starting level is 2550, and most events it starts at 5100. So you start off super, super deep, and I think the blind levels were actually, they last a little bit longer than some other events. I'm pretty sure day 1 was 75-minute levels, and then day 2, what was it? And day 2 and beyond became 90-minute levels. I'm pretty sure that's right, but I might be wrong on that. Whatever the case, it doesn't really matter. It was a really good structure. And let me just talk about some of the guys at the table. First of all, the only guy I recognized, this was my starting table if you couldn't tell, but the only guy I recognized was Mike Sexton. Everyone else to me was a random. I labeled them so that, you have a little bit of an idea as far as what I knew at the time of the hand taking place. And, obviously if it just says random on here, I didn't have any sort of information. They hadn't done anything to really, make me have any sort of read on the guy so far. So I guess I'm just going to jump into this first one here. I've dealt 4s. Actually, let me talk about my image so far. I've been playing a lot of hands. These stacks, how I have them set up, where we all basically have the 30K starting stack, is basically just because I don't remember exactly what stacks were, and they were close enough to 30K where it's fine to basically have them set this way. I probably had like 35K, but again, it doesn't matter too much. So I've been playing pretty actively. I like to do that in the first couple levels, see how people are going to play. If people are going to, try to not let me get away with it, or if people are going to just let me push them around, and I can kind of gauge my strategy going forward